If nothing else, Empire's Dreamweb is a very unusual game. This surrealistic, cyberpunky adventure gives the player the job of halting a metaphysical conspiracy through a series of brutal murders.
Say, isn't that the plot of Doom 2?
Excuse me? Did you just use the words doom and plot in the same sentence? Aren't there laws against that? As I say, the idea of the game is very interesting and probably unique.
You didn't like it, did you?
I'll get to that. The Dreamweb itself is a mysterious realm where mankind's every dream takes place.
Oh, it's the dreaming, like the Sandman comic.
Well, sort of. In Sandman, the dreaming revolves around one entity, Morpheus. The Dreamweb is controlled by 7 keepers and also bound to the earthly dimension by 7 humans.
This is all very interesting, but it's a bit difficult to grasp, so can we skip the metaphysics and get right to the action?
Okay, let's just say that the Dreamweb has fallen under the control of 7 really bad people who deserve to die in icky ways. Alright?
Good, I understood that.
So the keepers of the web have chosen a guy named Ryan to be their divine assassin.
That's sort of creepy in itself. Imagine being killed by a guy named Ryan.
The mood for all this is set up very well with a sort of diary that comes with the game, telling the nightmarish life Ryan was living before coming to grips with his true vocation as a serial killer.
Yeah, the Diary of a Madman was really well written and creeped me out. I was ready for anything.
Were you ready for this?
Oh, jeez. Is that what I think it is?
Yes, friends. Dreamweb is the first computer adventure game that forces you to talk to a guy while he's sitting on the toilet.
Well, you've got to admit it's unique.
I think I've already admitted that. That's just one of a series of disturbing images in this game.
You sound like you think that's a bad thing.
Not at all. I'm all for pushing the boundaries in the field. What's really funky is that these gross-out scenes are in such low-res graphics that you actually end up using your imagination to picture them in their full glory.
Which would explain the box warning that the game is not suitable for small children. You want to talk about imagination? 3-year-olds are just plain frightening.
Yet for all the shock tactics, Dreamweb did a poor job of capturing my interest. What with all this minor-key, new-agey music playing, not to mention the fact that it's raining all the time in the game world, the game literally made me drowsy.
Ooh, how apropos. A game about the seamy side of the dream world almost makes you experience it firsthand.
Well, before we harp too much on Dreamweb's sleep-inducing qualities, it should be mentioned that we did not get to review the CD-rom version with all the digitized voices. That might well have made all the difference.
Was that a disclaimer? You're getting soft in your old age. Anyway, I had no problem staying awake during the game, so maybe you should consider a regular afternoon siesta.
One of the better things about the game is the interface. You've got this nifty zoom window that follows your cursor around the screen and tells you what happens when you click your mouse. Click on your trench coat, and up comes your inventory.
Yeah, but for all the neat ideas, it still could have been simplified further. It seemed like everything took twice as many clicks as it should have. Click to bring up the inventory, click on the appropriate object, click to actually use it, click on what you want to use it with, etc., etc.
Well, that's why you didn't get drowsy while playing. How many cups of coffee did it take?
Well, 3 or 4.
Life would be so much easier if I could praise this game to the skies or thoroughly trash it.
Why do so many people have trouble with the color gray?
Well, anyway, Dreamweb is a high-concept game that doesn't really succeed in its aspirations. So much work was put into the atmosphere, and I think it backfired.
Are you talking about that drowsy thing again? Look, if you want to complain about something, let's talk about these graphics. Third-person perspective is one thing, but do we have to see everything from the ceiling for crying out loud?
Yeah, the graphics do leave a lot to be desired, but that could have been forgiven if the game had been stronger overall. It just sort of falls flat. It's so disappointing when a cool concept like this gets made into such a mediocre game.